I'm going to try and get ahead of WWE SmackDown this Friday and attempt to break down logically where I feel like the Royal Rumble winners should be focusing on, which champion they should choose. And I'm going to try and use old head logic here. I'm the wrestling old head. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling. And let's talk about this for a second. The Royal Rumble winners, one, we could break down logically that it was Charlotte Flair. We all kind of saw it coming. I know me personally, I felt like Bianca Belair had a strong opportunity because she's got a story that's kind of hovering around her with the Jade Cargill whodunit situation, her teaming with Naomi, but also being a little cautious is a word. I don't know if it's the word that I'm looking for, but very clingy when it comes to Naomi and other friends. It's like, you know, she wants to be Naomi's friend and really doesn't want anyone else in the area around her. Case in point, what happened at the Royal Rumble with Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace shows up. This is her coming out party. She's officially a member of the WWE, and she's having a good time with Naomi. You know, they're like cheering in the Royal Rumble, and Bianca takes her and like tosses her. It's like, what are you doing? We're here to throw people out. That's a story there, and I don't know if they're going to expound on that. I don't know if that was just a foreshadowing, for instance, but as soon as I saw the Street Profits attack DIY and attack the Motor City Machine Guns and exhibit this new attitude wherever they're going to go with it, I immediately said they can turn Bianca as well, and it's not the end of the world. I have heard people say that Bianca is like the John Cena. She's never going to turn. Nah. I think she is a natural heel, in my opinion. So is Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill could very well be a heel in this scenario too, but I would not count Bianca Belair out as a possible heel. But I digress. That's a totally another video. It's a different conversation. So I thought Bianca Belair would have won the Royal Rumble. I thought there was talk of Io Sky and all that, but for the sake of presenting options, Charlotte Flair was the best bet that they had. She's formidable. When you look at Rhea Ripley, there's not a whole lot of challengers that are there. And of course, I've seen the argument for Io Sky on this regard as well. They're like, Io Sky would be a great opponent for Rhea Ripley. Yes, but where does it make sense? WWE doesn't just throw matches together anymore. They're in the sports entertainment business. There's got to be a reason. And I know that they teased a little bit of dissension. I still don't feel like it's strong enough to present it as a top build match for a women's world championship at the biggest event of the year. And I see that this Friday, Charlotte is going to step into the ring and bring out Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton, I believe, is going to get a huge reaction here. I think they're going to boo Charlotte because they want to boo Charlotte. There are some detractors that don't see the talent that she has. They're not into her. They're going to boo. And then there are those that love her, but they love to boo her. Okay? I see her as one of the most talented performers in the women's division in professional wrestling, period. She has an aura. And I believe she's best when she's a heel. I don't hear the face voice that you can hear in a lot of the all-time great baby faces. I don't hear it. So when she comes out and she confronts Tiffany Stratton, I think they're going to tease it, and I think they're going to do a good job of it. But I don't personally feel that they need to go down that rabbit hole right now. I do not believe that we need to see Tiff Stratton and Charlotte Flair in a WrestleMania match as their first ever encounter. Think about that. That would be the first time they ever stepped foot in the ring. And I know Charlotte's looking to be inspired. I don't think they necessarily need to go down that rabbit hole yet, because Tiffany Stratton has Nia Jax. And I know what you're thinking, but you can do that at the Chamber. it makes sense. You very well can do that at the Chamber. Or you can do it at WrestleMania, where there's a through line story that is already set up. Nia Jax can win the Elimination Chamber and then go on to face Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte can then choose Rhea Ripley. And that's where I feel like it should go, because you've got a series tied 1-1. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair is box office, but they were box office when Rhea Ripley was essentially a blue chipper. She was a young lion. Now she has established herself as the hottest attraction in the WWE, if not in professional wrestling. She's over. She is huge. She's become a way better performer in the ring and out of the ring. That is a challenge. That is to be inspired by Charlotte Flair. The foreshadowing that I saw, which is why I'm so pumped if this is the route that they're going, and I'm only a fan, I don't know this stuff, but I'm so excited if they do decide to go this route, because Rhea Ripley did not like being called a kid from Charlotte Flair. Well, she's going to show her that she's a woman. She's going to show her that she's a badass. And I believe that would be a great match. Now, if you look back a couple of years ago, they tore the house down at WrestleMania. I don't see why they can't run that back. Post-COVID, in a full stadium, it could be huge. Arguably, it could headline one of the nights, probably night one. I don't want to get too ahead of myself and say headline night two, okay? But this match, if they were to present it with the story that's involved in it, I think it could be a headliner. So that's where I feel Charlotte would go. Now let's yeet on over on this side and go to Jey Uso. Jey Uso, one of the most polarizing performers in professional wrestling today. Fans, say what you will, very few people saw that coming. Very few people saw Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. And I thought the WWE did a phenomenal job of masking that and keeping the suspense going to where you had no idea what was going to happen. Jey winning was shocking. And overall, I believe it was good for business since he is over. And he gives the fans of the Bloodline story since its inception a chance to see the guy they got behind get his moment. This is his moment. And if you've been following the Bloodline story like I have, you have seen him build his way up. I got flamed on the internet. I'm going to say it again. I believe Jey Uso is over like Jeff Hardy was over in 2008. Come at me, bros. Come at me, bros. I think he is. Yes, the in-ring ability, you can't draw comparisons there. But the one-to-one parallels lies in their journey. Jey Uso primarily was a tag team wrestler. The same with Jeff. The moment that Jey Uso stepped out of the tag team scene, left his brother Jimmy, he started feuding with his brother Jimmy. Jeff and Matt Hardy had a couple of feuds. Jey became an Intercontinental Champion. Jeff became an Intercontinental Champion. By the time Jeff was opted for world title glory, there was a lot of personal stuff going on. There was a lot of politicking, but they finally gave Jeff Hardy his flowers in 2008 at Armageddon when he defeated Edge and Triple H in a triple threat match to fulfill his lifelong dream of winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and the crowd was into him. He had personal demons, he had struggles, but he was finally able to say he was a WWE champion. It solidified him as a top singles performer in professional wrestling. And I see that with Jey Uso. I see the crowd response similarly. I'm not saying that the guy can do sky twister moonsaults, swanton bombs, or work fantastic ladder matches. Although Jey is capable of all of that shit. I'm not going to call them like the same type of performer. I'm just going to let you know that in my eyes, the way that the crowd responded to Jeff Hardy, the crowd is responding like that to Jey Uso. And Uso, similar to Hardy, has a unique, enigmatic charisma that the audience has attached themselves to that no other performer can do it. Jay is doing what Roman could not do, which is endear himself to the crowd in a way where he doesn't have to say much. He doesn't have to beg for their attention. He just has to go out and be himself, and the crowd loves it. The crowd does workouts. You know, that arm wave gesture thing? They do it for like 8 or 9 minutes. I mean, by the time they get out there, they probably can't even get through the doors of the stadium because they're so swole. That's a special kind of over. I believe Bully Ray, Mr. Bubba Ray Dudley, I believe he said it was a white hot baby face over. I think he nailed it. As he would say, ding ding ding, circle gets the square. Say what you will about the guy. Hey, I'm not here to say that he deserves top billing over guys like CM Punk and John Cena and Randy Orton and all these guys that you guys mentioned. There's a fair argument for it all. We can get into the weeds and have 3-4 hour conversations about who deserves to be in the main event. I'm not here to say that. I'm here to say that they're capitalizing on a certain type of crowd reaction that only few get. And they're not going to waste it. They're capitalizing on it. You can't hate them for that. This is a business. Professional wrestling. And aside from the great wrestling that you see, it wouldn't be the way that it is without that first word, professional. Now, who is he going to choose? It seems the foregone conclusion is Gunther. Stands across the ring from Gunther. Gunther says, exercise your other options because I'm going to defeat you. I'm going to beat you. It was terrible, Gunther, but you get what I'm saying. He looked disgusted to be out there. Now, this Friday on SmackDown, he's going to step across the ring from Cody Rhodes. Now, depending on the way that Cody Rhodes handles this, is going to be where I feel like this actually should go. But since we're early, SmackDown hasn't come out on yet. Let's theorize here. Cody Rhodes' descent into madness is going to be studied for years to come, because it could very well be another year and a half before we actually see 5 o'clock shadow, disheveled madness Cody Rhodes. It could be a long time before we see it, but we're starting to see it. And I hope and I pray that Karrion Kross is the final nail in the coffin that breaks Cody Rhodes. Oh man, I would pop. So if we're only getting like a slight tease of it from the way that he responded to CM Punk coming out asking him if he's okay, to the Alabama Slam through the goddamn ladder at the Royal Rumble on Kevin Owens. If he steps across the ring from Jey Uso and he seems paranoid, we got something. And we got something good. Because Cody Rhodes has lost a lot of friends. And if he starts ostracizing Jey Uso or is side-eyeing Jey Uso, okay, I want to see that. I want to see them explore that more and right now and get deep into the weeds with something like that, because that is money in my eyes. But if they're going to slow burn this thing, if Cody just gives a hint and then says, but you know what, I'm proud of you, gives him a hug, all is good, Jay needs to go beat Gunther at WrestleMania. And he will beat Gunther at WrestleMania if that's who he's going to face. So logically, if we're not doing the descent into madness Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso should choose Gunther. So Charlotte Flair should choose Rhea Ripley. Jey Uso should choose Gunther. There's also something else that I want to touch upon while I have you here, while you're chilling with me. And by the way, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button like Seth Rollins smashed Roman Reigns' head into the ground at the Royal Rumble like he was a Goomba from Super Mario. I'm going to, for just a second, talk about who could potentially wrestle Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, since I believe Jay's not picking him unless we start to see Cody lose it. There have been a lot of people that have sworn that the most sense that it makes for an opponent for Cody Rhodes is John Cena. And I'm telling you right now, I don't get it, y'all. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. Comment in the comment section. That's where you comment, and then I can comment back. Let me know if you think John Cena against Cody Rhodes makes sense, because I'm going to explain to you, I don't think it makes sense, and I'm going to tell you why. John Cena is on a losing streak. The first match that he wins is after he gets done filming a movie. He's going to be gone for weeks, comes back, goes into one of the most grueling matches the WWE has ever done, and wins. And then goes to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes in a face versus face match, where this is John Cena's seemingly last shot at the Undisputed World Championship 4 months or so into his retirement tour. I don't think it makes sense to me. If you've got a story like John Cena saying bye, should it be that he's chasing the title? Should it be that he's the Rocky Balboa? Or should he come in and dominate? Like, I just don't understand where that makes sense. To me, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying the triple threat match, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns is all but set for WrestleMania, and that makes sense. There's no stakes, number one. And yes, they all have animosity and everything like that, but there's no story that brings them all together in a triple threat. And unless they've got one in their back pocket, I don't see it. And where does CM Punk's favor set in? Because he mentioned the favor and they keep bringing up the favor. They've got to follow through on that. So logically, what makes sense for me is that CM Punk's favor is maybe switching entries for the Elimination Chamber with Roman Reigns or something. I don't know, something weird like that. And he ends up winning Elimination Chamber, and CM Punk goes on to wrestle Cody Rhodes. And Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins settle their differences, and you either put John Cena with Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, or maybe, and hear me out, or maybe Karrion Kross. If you go back, Karrion Kross mentioned John Cena a long time ago, somewhere deep into 2024, and they showed highlights of John Cena. Karrion Kross has had his eyes on John Cena. John Cena has shown a lot of frustration, even showing up in the press conference and saying, like, you guys can say what you want. I'm going to go film a movie. I'm coming back. I'm winning Elimination Chamber. If he doesn't win Elimination Chamber, he's going to have a crisis. He's going to be in crisis mode. Who's going to show up? Karrion Kross. John Cena and Karrion Kross at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. Jey Uso and Gunther. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. And yes, Kevin Owens is going to wrestle Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber in Canada, and Randy Orton is going to return, and that's your match for WrestleMania. Foregone conclusion of foregone conclusions. You can pit Drew against LA Knight, or even Damian Priest. You can do one of the two. Please do Braun Breaker against AJ Styles. Oh my God, for the love of God. I really want to see Braun Breaker defend his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. I know a lot of people are saying Penta, but they don't have to do that right now. They can put Penta in a 6-man tag or a multi-man tag where, you know, he's with Rey Mysterio in some regard, either teaming with Rey or on the opposite side. But I believe he should team with Rey with Dragon Lee. And if I were the WWE, I would cause some dissension between Dragon Lee and Penta. That's a dream match, Dragon Lee and Penta. And Dragon Lee's not getting as over as Penta. And there needs to be some dissension. And Penta's so over, I wouldn't turn him heel. He is so over. I would keep that momentum going until Rey Fenix shows up. But that's where you got for WrestleMania. And I'll do a WrestleMania prediction card. I'm a big Karrion Kross fan. So when I say that he should wrestle John Cena, it's purely based on my fandom and not by any logic. However, the logic there is that Karrion Kross gets in people's heads. And John Cena is going to be in a vulnerable position if and when he loses Elimination Chamber. So I believe that's a prime opportunity for Karrion Kross to come in there and have his WrestleMania moment against John Cena. That is if they allow that. That is a big thing to put John Cena across the ring with Karrion Kross on the biggest stage of them all. And I am aware of that. And I know that it is not likely. But it would be fucking badass, okay? So that's it, okay? So, yes, I see the rumors going around with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. I think it makes more sense to have CM Punk against Cody Rhodes. I don't understand for the life of me why anybody would think that Cody Rhodes and John Cena would make sense for WrestleMania, but I guess I see where they would come up with it. I just don't think that it would have to be executed really, really well. And the way that John Cena is going back and forth between Hollywood and wrestling, he doesn't seem like he's full-time here at all. Like, I really don't see how the build-up would work either. So building up John Cena for like a night 2 main event at WrestleMania, and he's really not going to be committed to being there all the time, and he isn't going to have a lot of singles matches in between that. I just don't see how that works, and I don't see where people are getting that. I don't. But maybe that's just me. So Jey Uso and Gunther and Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley makes sense to me. But does it make sense to you? And if it doesn't make sense to you, then get into the comments and let me know about it. That's what I'm here for. And thumbs up on the way out, you guys. Gets the notification going so that the old head can get off his rocker and get that new, old folks rocker on wheels, with the battery operated stuff, the electric charge or whatever, any of that good stuff. This old man needs it, man. I need it from my back. So make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, because you never know when the Wrestling Old Head's going to pop through the portal and let you know how I feel. So until then, you just stay tuned for more.